Nolan
North,
North for the the Ghost in the game that's probably one of the worst games since God created man. Okay. But
for you, for me, it's an awesome game. I still got the Destiny wristband on. It's an awesome game. I've been up for 3 hours. I must say, to those of you who aren't into Destiny, okay, it's still Destiny. It's still the same thing. I'm not gonna talk you into it because of the fact that it's still the same heavy loot thing. Okay,
still a grind, is it?
It's like this.
If you know, a lot of grinding.
It's still a grinding, not as much, but still grinding.
Trying to put a story together. Is it?
No, they got the story.
Oh, they did
get a story. It's
after a year.
And some change.
It's almost as if there was more when you were doing the
hey, how much did the Taken King cost compared to the original game?
So like for $100, you get the
$100. You say?
Well, $140 actually, because you think about if you get into it now, it's like $80. I think $80. But for me, since I've been in since day one, $60 for the game, $40 for the first 2 expansions, and now $40 for the
game. So $140
to get a game that.
So $140 to take a year to get a game that you can finally play.
You can play it.
You can play it the whole time.
I sold my version because you couldn't play
it. And I'm not chiming in on this because I'm going to say this. My initial impression of it is, my first moment, I was like, why am I playing this? Why did I just pay this money for this game? When quite honestly, the patch set all this up and the patch was free. And so why did I pay $60 for a level cap increase? Now, I say that.
And the raid.
And the raid isn't out yet.
Friday.
At the time of this taping, the raid is not out yet. I'm sure the raid will be interesting.
The raid introduction is out. The heroic version.
I will say this. I'm reserving my judgment because I feel like the game is finally at a place where it is something that they can be very proud of. However, I'm still not sold on this whole concept that I should have to wait a year and pay $140 to get a game that Bungie, who knows how to make a game well, who has been doing it, this is not their first time at the rodeo. They know how to make a game. I shouldn't have to pay $140 for them practicing. They should get it right out the gate.
So here's my question. What are you going to be like in the next year? Remember, this is a 10-year plan. What are you going to be like in the next 5, 6 years? It's going to be like,
I don't have the patience for 5 years.
I will say,
it's going to be a while.
Lord knows I don't want to agree with you today at all because you're bloody weird. But I will say this. If I was in a relationship with anybody, and for the first year, they basically were crappy, year 2, if they shot sparks out of their butt, if a rainbow opened up and shone every time they smiled at me, they still got to get out of my house. Because no, that doesn't work. You don't get a year of being meh and then say, no, it's going to get better year 2. Year 3, we don't know yet, but year 2 is going to be better. Yeah, you know what? No.
So if we're going off this theory, that means that every other year, so you'll pay $60 every year. Let's just say it's going to cost you $60.
That's rough rental while you're playing.
Now,
I get a lot of Netflix for that.
It's going to cost you $60
every year for the same Madden game. And to me, Madden is the exact same thing. I mean, I went and did that.
Not disagreeing, but what I'm asking is this. You're paying $60 every year. It's not a guarantee that the level of greatness, the level of design, the level of whatever you want to call it, is going to improve every year. And let's be honest, working off of a system, the system has a finite lifespan. So what happens today on this system may not happen on a PS5 or Xbox 2 or whatever you want to call it. That 10-year lifespan, but that 10-year lifespan is not feasible if you look at the lifespan of a console, because the lifespan of a console really is only 7 to 8 years.
But you do realize that this thing is console jumping. I mean, it's all cloud. So like, I could go ahead play my Xbox One.
That's fine and dandy.
But the issue is the content and the way that the gameplay and content of this game is so much better than day one.
Yeah.
It is,
but that's what I'm getting at. Is
why was it there on day one?
My question is that taking all those factors into that, the level of content from year 2 may not be the level of content that you'll receive in year 3, but you'll still have to pay the $60, and thinking that a good game, good turnaround is usually, 3 to 4 years. So if you're looking at Bungie keeping this up and keeping this going, the level of content, the level of story may not work out.
Well, maybe.
I would say this. If you
look at this now, at the new expansion, I don't even think it's even considered an expansion right now, because if they say expansion and DLC, they don't even have the number behind it. It's just the taking. It's almost like Destiny 1.5. That's what it almost feels like.
Right, but you paid $140.
I think a better way of describing that would not be Destiny 1.5 or Destiny 2 or whatever. It would be Warcraft vanilla to
Burning Crusade.
Yeah. If you look at it as though it's an MMO, because it's a freaking loot grind, no matter how you get around it, you're running the same quest over and over to get some new shinies that you show off to your friends. It's a loot grind.
You compare it to WoW, which, by the way, I also have experience in. Now, here's the thing. I have experience in everything. But here's the thing. If you think about it this way, people who play WoW, okay, they end up buying the first one, vanilla. Then there was Burning Crusade, then Wrath of the Lich King, and just so on and so forth. You're still paying all these expansions for the exact same thing. Your character model hasn't changed. You're still either, casting powers, or you're going up with the sword and shield. You didn't all of a sudden just jump into space and so on and so forth, and now you're flying spaceships. You're still playing WoW, now over probably 6 years? And think about how much money...
It's longer than it's been.
I'm talking about WoW, not Warcraft. Warcraft was...
World of Warcraft was it's been out for
you're right. No, now it's over 10. It's over 10 years.
It's
over 10 years. I was there Burning Crusade. I was there right when they released Burning Crusade. I was little.
I was vanilla.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm just saying, all these years down the line, they've been releasing expansions and so on and so forth. How much money I threw at that game every time? 40.
Right, but you're talking about...
And the monthly $15.
We're talking about a different gaming style, though. I mean, like, you're training right now. What you're really training people to do is to use an MMO on a console.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and they're using the same thing that they use on StarCraft, the same thing that they use on Diablo. This is the same.
You come out with a game that is.
And I would never play an MMO on a computer. So why am I going to play?
You
Destiny?
Wouldn't. I would.
Because I was playing other schools before I went back to Destiny. Yeah. So I mean.
But what I'm getting at is that for the casual gamer, this game doesn't exist.
No, I have to agree with that. Yeah.
This is not for the casual gamer.
Now,
this
are you
is
talking
for
about the casual gamer that's playing, that's probably looking at this video split screen with Candy Crush? Because if you're looking at this video split screen with Candy Crush,
don't alienate our viewer base. All 8 of them are very important to us. You are very important to us. Don't ignore what they're saying right now.
What I'm saying is that for a game that's supposed to be mass appeal, that's being marketed as mass appeal, it is not a mass appeal game. It's
14 million active users. I would dare say they've got the mass.
Yeah.
It may not be mass appeal, but they have the mass.
They have the mass. I mean, MMO World of Warcraft has the mass, right?
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore, but at its height, World of Warcraft was doing 20 million people.
Yeah.
And now they're down to 6.
But what I'm getting at is that it's an MMO with the same number of people. They've built a base. They're going to farm that base and make that base pay for it.
Absolutely.
Make the base pay the privilege for the level of clarity that they're bringing to the game now. This game was never meant for your casual player. Your casual player is going to buy Call of Duty or something else.
No,
they're not going to buy this game.
I would say this. My friends who do play games like WoW, Elder Scrolls and Maple Story and so on and so forth, they haven't picked up this Destiny game. The friends who are playing Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, they're the ones who have picked up this game. I'm looking at my friend list. I'm looking at the games they play.
Well, it's because
I'm
you can
looking
come back to it.
I have
you can leave and come back.
one friend who plays Destiny who also plays Elder Scrolls. Everyone else, every other shooter game. Me, on the other hand, I'm like,
Right, because
I'm on both fences. So for me,
the
it's
one
like,
smart
this is
thing
a
that I'll
love
give
show.
them credit for is that when they marketed this, they marketed it as a game that you could just go into.
Yeah.
So they hooked what people were going to be hooked, who didn't mind the MMO feel to it. Like, as soon as you say MMO to me, I immediately turn off because I think those games
And you know they don't even market it anymore. It's now a shared world shooter.
Yeah,
Which technically it isn't really MMO because
it's still MMO.
When I'm thinking MMO, I'm thinking I should go to the tower and see literally hundreds of people like I do in World of Warcraft. Everyone. Well,
yeah.
Whatever, how many people.
In the tower, you only see 8. There's never anyone else there.
Yeah, in the tower, 8. I'm like,
but there's
you don't feel the massive.
Never feel over 30, 40 people.
They missed the massive part of the multi.
Yeah, it's really just an online multiplayer shared world shooter because when you go through the world, you're flopping through servers.
But isn't that just semantics in the end?
Well, and check this out.
It's a different feel.
Obviously, Destiny is a contentious topic with us, and we need to have this conversation in a realm where people that know more than you two, obviously, can chime in and help y'all figure out what really is going on. So let's turn this over to the viewers, and we will get back to this Destiny discussion after we've had more